Hey there, Cheese here, and hello! No, I mean, that's who we're fighting. We're fighting Hello on this episode of the square root of -1 Kirby challenge. And we're fighting him with the pencil bomb. If this is utterly incomprehensible to any of you as well, apparently Hello is actually a real person who makes lots of Mario fan games from scratch, and that thing was his avatar. Thus, the surroundings. I've got a good bit to say about this segment, but before I get to why it was one of the hardest, let's talk about the pencil bomb, or eraser bomb, and how it makes this segment easier. Despite appearances, the eraser bomb actually doesn't do much damage. That huge explosion isn't just for show, though, that's its main selling point. Earlier on, when there were a bunch of Goombas about, I tried to emphasize just how much range this thing can get. The explosion you get is great for hitting a wide area, and 8 ways to throw the weapon make it really easy to place it where you want it. You'll want to keep in mind, though, that if you try and throw it upwards, it's going to fall back down. Kinda like this. Boop. Because of its low power, it's thankfully pretty light on ammo. Which is good, because as of about now, I don't have a single shot to waste. Here we are at the mid-boss, Cut Hunt. Okay. Cutman here isn't as weak to the eraser bomb as I would have liked. He takes 14 hits with it to kill, and I can only spare 7. The neat thing is, the eraser bomb's explosion is so huge the Cutman gets damaged twice going through it. It's certainly not an exact science, in fact that doesn't happen when you get a direct hit, but timing it just right and aiming where Cutman's gonna land is pretty consistent and lets us save those 7 shots. Just enough to finish the stage. For the record, it's worth mentioning that leading that cursor around in the mid-boss battle is really tougher than it looks. These pinball flippers you see here act a whole lot like those things in Shadow Man's Dock Robot stage in Mega Man 3. Except they're a lot wider, so if you want to stay on top of them, you actually do need to learn the timing. Moving forward, the reason we needed so much ammo is because Hello is not actually weak to the pencil bomb at all. We will need a full complement of ammo, and need to not miss once during his boss battle, if we want to take him out with just the eraser bomb. Fortunately, all those coins sitting around do actually have an effect when you collect them. Every coin is a single bar of weapon energy. And, by pure coincidence, there are exactly 7 coins in the second half of the stage. So, just enough to get through on 1 bar of eraser bomb ammo. Before we fight the boss, though, we've got our old pal Eddie to say hi to. And he's stuck in the floor. First getting blown up and now this? Oh, poor guy. Anyway, it's on to the boss. Normally, Hello doesn't present too much of an issue, but when you're taking his fight slow and only doing a little damage once every so often to make sure you don't miss, he can overwhelm you just out of pure attrition. When he crosses the room in between attacks, the shockwave is a lot easier to dodge on the side that he's coming from. If you're on the other side of that, you gotta time your jump well to make sure he doesn't crash into you in midair. Some of Hello's attacks are a lot more troublesome than others. Fire Flower and Hammer Suit are almost free hits. Meanwhile, the Super Ball Flower from the Game Boy games, I assume, the grayed out one, that can cause some problems just because the gray projectiles are really hard to see against the background, and tracking them all is not an easy task. A Ninja Suit means he's going to start throwing shurikens straight at you, so you need to be ready to dodge the first one right away when that happens. And worst of all is the bees. When he throws a bee out, he starts moving again right away, so you don't really have much opportunity to get hits in safely, and it bounces around the room and interferes with dodging all of his other attacks for a really long time. And he just wouldn't tire of them this time. It was really scary, to be honest. The one saving grace that counteracts how chaotic this fight can get is that Hello does next to no damage. I think some of his attacks actually literally only take 1 bar off of your health. And I'm honestly not sure he can do anything to cause more than like 3 or 4 damage to you. From here on, we have a straight shot following the weakness order through the rest of the main 8 stages, so you'd think that there aren't any more segments like this, right? Well, some of the ammo rates on the later weapons have something to say about that. For now, though, we'll be using the Yahoo Barrage next time. Yep. And so, until then, this has been Cheese. Take care.